What's up guys, Meredith with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're checking out this Rancho RS 9000 XL rear shock for stock height, fitting all 2007 through 2018 Silverado 1500s and 1999 through 2018 Sierra 1500s. Now, faded shocks are definitely one of the components in your suspension that can make your ride feel uncomfortable if you're feeling that bouncier ride day to day or when you're towing with your truck. This specific Rancho shock will be a perfect solution if you're not looking to upgrade your whole suspension. You just need more of a responsive feel, some better performance, and a peace of mind that your ride is going to be comfortable no matter what style of driving that you're doing. Now, this will come with one shock in the kit, so what you see here is what you get, and although it looks pretty simple, there is a lot to this system. Now, the shock will offer you a stiffer feel compared to the factory option. However, you may think that that may create an uncomfortable ride with a stiffer gas charge shock. However, the design of this with the progressive engagement valving will absorb harsh bumps and create a smoother ride overall. Now, you'll also be able to change the ride or the compression with the compression control valve down at the bottom that's going to feature 9 different levels of performance simply by twisting that knob, so you can fine-tune your shocks and your suspension to your personal preference. Now, in addition to a solid feel that this is going to offer you and your truck, these are going to be durable with a large steel body covered in a silver metallic powder coat to protect them from scratching and surface damage and, of course, rust underneath. This will also have an 18mm nitro carburized rod, and that may sound a little complicated, but it just means that this is going to be super durable metal that will resist any nicking that could potentially cause leaking down the line. This is going to resist all of that, and as an extra precaution, it does come with a boot for protection for the shaft and the seals to maintain a long lifespan. Now, as I said before, this will be gas charged and will be charged to 120 psi, which will reduce shock fade over time, which is that aeration or foaming that forms inside the shock, which will cause that squishy feeling. And this is going to be great for really any application, even in tougher applications if you're doing a lot of off-roading or towing with your truck. Now, this will be Rancho's more premium option in their line of shocks at about $175 per shock. Now, when putting it alongside the others in the category, this will definitely have a one-up over the more simplistic and less expensive options that won't have the adjustability or added features like a gas-charged build. Now, while it does include those extra features that make this shock worth the extra couple bucks, this will still remain pretty mild in the construction compared to other super high performance options that you may not necessarily need, making this a great choice for a premium yet modest shock for your truck, especially at that stock suspension height. Now, install will be a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter and should take you about 2 hours to get the job done. Now, also, if you are installing 2, which you most likely are, the install is going to double roughly in time. However, it will be the same process for either side. Now, speaking of the install, one of our customers here has installed this on their truck and is going to walk you through what that process looks like step by step. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
These are the tools that you're absolutely going to need to do this job. A 21mm socket, ratchet wrench, and a 21mm open end box end wrench. To make the job a little easier, a pry bar, an impact driver, breaker bar, and a torque wrench. Hey guys, this is an installation video of a pair of Rancho 9000 shocks that I picked up from AmericanTrucks.com. Gonna install them on this 2011 Chevy Silverado. Let's get to it. Before we start the installation of the shocks, we're going to prep the vehicle, chock the front wheels, make sure the parking brake's set, and on this Chevy we're going to drop that spare tire to give ourselves a little bit more room to work. To drop the tire on this Chevy, we got to take this access port off with your ignition key, pull that out, and then we're going to use the jack handle that comes with it to lower the spare tire down. Okay, so we're going to take the 2 pieces of the jack handle extension here and just click them together. Slide the larger opened end in, feel it lock on there. Good deal. Slide the jack handle over the end. Lefty-loosey to bring it on down. Make sure you let off enough slack that you can get that lifting mechanism out of the spare tire. Okay, we got the tire down with enough slack in the cable. We're going to lift the tire up and just that all the way up and through. Get it out of the way. And move it out. We're going to get this lower nut and bolt off first. Come on, Betsy. Ugh. I'm not going to take that one out just yet. Let's get that top one loose. So here we are. We're looking up at the top bolt for the rear shock. I'm going to get that out with a 21mm breaker bar and socket. Okay, let's see if we can break this bad boy loose. Oh, yeah. Give it one more. Forget measure. One more, because I'm old. Good. Let's switch over to the ratchet. Swing this bottom one out. Here's where your pry bar is going to come in handy. When we're on the ground like this, the shock is going to be a little bit compressed. So just lift up onto the pinch and out we come, and let her down. And there we go. Okay, let's get this top bolt out of there. Wiggle this one out. This thing has had it. Oh, look at all that rust and gunk, oil, boy. That might be the original equipment right there. Yeesh. Okay, good deal. Okay guys, today we got a set of Rancho 9000s that we're going to do a little installation video on for a Chevy Silverado pickup truck. And before we do that, we're going to prep them for install. You need a little grease, some tape, little Loctite glue, 1/8 inch Allen key, a screwdriver, and it comes with the zip tie and the rubber boot. So the first thing we're going to do is take this knob off, and that's your 1/8 inch Allen. These knobs are really hard to turn. There's a really stiffly sprung piston underneath here, and just give it a little bit of extra attention. Give it some grease. Doesn't hurt anything. Again, you don't have to do this. It's just a little extra. Watch out for that gasket. Just give it a little squirt, a little spray. Work that piston up and down a little bit. This little threaded plunger. Squirt. I'm going to adjust these to pretty much the maximum firmness or ride before I put them on, and I'll back them off as need be, because that knob is really hard to turn. Well, you can get a little tool that fits. It's a little wrench that fits over this cat. About 20 bucks on Amazon. Might be handy if you want to adjust them, you know, while they're on your vehicle. If you're gonna go off road or something. I'm probably not gonna do it too often. I'll just crank that on. It's 8 positions, I believe, and then when you hit the end, you'll kind of know it. It'll spring back pretty hard. Okay, now we're gonna prep this boot. They come with 2 drain slots on it. This one didn't quite get cut out at the factory. Just slice that up the middle. Get that cleaned out. There's one on either side, so no matter how you mount them, if you mount the drain holes perpendicular to the bolt, no matter which side you mount them on, one of them will be low, so water will drain out. Okay, last step in getting these shocks prepped, we're going to pull that boot down with our drain holes perpendicular to the mounting bolts. And what I'm going to do is just put a little tape around there, hold it, and then put the tie wrap around it, and then tape up both ends of it real good. I don't know if you see anybody driving around down the road. These boots kind of hanging out underneath. We don't want that. We don't want that. Okay, that's going to hold it. And they come with a tie wrap. Get that on there, good and snug. And then just tape them up real good. Make sure that weep hole again is perpendicular to the mounting bolt. Good. Wrap some around here. Why not? Tape is cheap. Okay. There we go. Knob is greased, boot is on, sealed up, drain hole. Do that to the other one and we'll be ready to put them on there and take her for a rip. Okay, here's the moment we've all been waiting for. Install the new shock. Make sure that the adjusting knob is pointed in the way that you can get at it. This one is to the rear. Make it nice and simple. And I'm just going to get this started. Doesn't hurt to be a little extra aware of it, that's for sure. Okay, I'm going to spin this around, get the camera on here so you can see the lower half. Okay, here's where you earn your lunch, earn your keep. You got to compress the shock up. Just push slow and steady on it and she'll go. And it don't matter, right? It don't matter. Okay. And we thread this back on. Our ratchet. All right. Come back for the torque wrench. Okay, let's get this torque down. One thing I should have mentioned in the tools list is when you're torquing things down, don't use those big long impact sockets. They're way too long. You're just going to round it off. You want a shorter socket that's going to get you closer to the bolt, so that way it'll be more accurate and you're not going to strip it off. Okay. Oh, good. Let's swing around and do the lower. Okay, over on the other side of the truck, the most important thing for this particular set of shocks is making sure you got the adjusting knob facing the direction that you can get at it. So everything else is exactly the same. Just gonna snug these down and then torque them up. Torque it to 85. Yeah, I might have gotten a pinch over on that one. Get that top one. Okay. Now, most important thing, getting your logo decal on there. Because after all, why else did you do it? So you can see it from behind me. Sweet. All right, one done, one to go.
So that's going to wrap it up for my review and the install of this Rancho RS 9000 XL rear shock for stock height, fitting all 2007 through 2018 Silverado 1500s and 1999 through 2018 Sierra 1500s. And you can find this right here at AmericanTrucks.com.